When are we talking about the fucking shows and movies? Thanks for the F shot.
I don't know, but these arms are doing chewed up.
Show me what you got.
We'll drink it if you say. Hey there, sports fans. Welcome to this episode of Wasted Opinions, where we're going off the book and talking about sports. Games. So not too far off the book. I'm MussKeg, and with me here today I have, to my far left,
I'm CountryBoy.
I'm the bad boy of Wasted Opinions, like Elvis Stoico. I'm LewisLightning. And before we get going, we got a shot that we'd like to do.
Yeah. Did you see your name? MussKeg?
I did at the start.
Thank you.
Did at the start.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking about some of our favorite sports games. Maybe there's some unique
Sports video games.
Sports video games, sorry.
Sports games just sounds like you don't know what sports are.
Yeah. I love sports.
There's no place for sports games.
Sports games out in my backyard.
Sports games almost sounds like I'm a guy wearing a football jersey holding a hockey
I made a
stick,
shoot
right?
switch in my day.
I played some sports games growing up all the time.
Sports video games for me, where it's hard. Sports video games for me, I played a lot as a kid. They're really good for time killers. I always liked them because you could just jump on and play like 30 minutes of a game and not have to get into the story so much. And I like sports, so.
Yeah, they're good pick up and play, sort of.
Exactly.
Kill time.
So who wants to start us off?
I'll start us off here. So for me, like, I wasn't big into like the more simulation type games. I've got a few. Like I think the last NHL game I got is like NHL 15 or something, and a football game I played like 98 or something like that. I haven't played sports games, video games for a long time, but I like the more arcadey ones. And one of the arcadey ones that I used to play is a midway type one. It's football, NFL Blitz. It's very like just regular football, but they kind of enhance it a little bit where you can like hit harder, you can like hit after the whistle goes and stuff like that. You can break guys' legs.
It's not as complicated, you know. It's not as challenging, if you will.
So that was when I was decent at playing. Like I didn't have to think about it too much, and it was fun as hell. It was fun, and it's kind of funny too.
Yeah.
It wasn't too serious. It didn't take itself too serious.
It spawned its own kind of like, it had NHL hits too, kind of thing, and then also I think NBA Jam was very similar to that.
Yeah, NBA Jam was like a precursor to that, I'd say.
Kind of, so
yeah. So that's where
I
go.
I haven't played that in years though.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch! I was gonna pick NBA Jam Tournament Edition.
Yeah.
I know he just took the wind out from under me there.
Dude, I was gonna say that one too. So
That's
now I can't even use it.
My first pick, but I am also like not a big fan of complete simulation stuff. So yeah, NBA Jam, where it was just like you could be at the 3-point line of your other court and you're getting like on the right spot. You could do a slam dunk all the way. Yeah. He's hot. He's on fire.
Yeah.
But as a kid,
boom shakalaka.
As a kid, I had that game and I played it all the time. But I was never able to do those cheat codes where you get like Bill Clinton.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could be fucking playing Bill Clinton. That
I had it on Genesis. I don't know if there's any issue with that. Maybe it was on the SNES version.
Maybe. I know I played it on Genesis. So my neighbor let me borrow his.
Too much of a purist.
But yeah, it's just so funny when you're like on the other end of the court and your guy just takes the ball between his legs and he jumps and he goes all the way to their basket and sits it in.
From downtown.
You get the ball on fire and it would burn the net.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's a perfect one to get people into sports games. If you want to get into simulation,
sports video games.
Yes. If they weren't really into it to begin with, that's what you would do. Like, look, you can get the basics of it and then go from there. But yeah, NBA Jam Tournament Edition. I'm going to say Tournament Edition every time.
Okay.
It's great.
Well, I'll go with the first sports video game that ever stole a place in my heart. I was young. It's NHL 93.
93? Oh, it was 94.
No, it was 93.
Okay.
I remember, there's not too much about this except I played this game a ton by myself, with my cousins, with my brother, and my favorite part was I figured out this move that I always scored on, and they could never figure it out. And
the wrap around the net?
Well,
no, it was just a certain spot that you shot from.
Excuse me, hiccups. I started to go around the net, and then I cut back in front. Worked every time. Yeah. And
so the AI was quite up to par, is what it is nowadays.
Yeah. And think about it this way. I was a young kid beating my older brother, older cousin, so I felt pretty cool.
I had an older brother and we had all the NHL games. So we had NHL 93, 94.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the difference between all of them, but I know a wrap around the net would always end up in a goal. But was that the one where you could like break the glass?
Yeah, you can break the glass.
And then
yeah.
when you like injured a person on the ice, like he'd fall down.
Yeah.
And then he wouldn't start bleeding until he took his helmet off, and then just be like a pool of blood. It's
I
like
don't remember the blood, but
he broke his leg. Why is he bleeding?
Every injury is a head injury.
it had some great tunes too, some great like organ music in it.
Yes.
too.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, anyways. They even had like the Hartford Whalers, because they had a goal song that's the Brass Bonanza, and it only played when it was the Hartford Whalers. So they had little details, little touches. Yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna go back a little further. You want to go to the? Well, actually, I guess this is yours was NES, right? So I guess mine's also an NES game.
Mine was SNES. Mine.
It was SNES. Okay, sorry. Mine. I went back to the NES days. Then I never actually had this game myself, but like I said, I had cousins that had systems plethora galore or whatever. But they had the pad. You know, the mat that you could play on.
Yeah.
With the,
track and field.
It was a track and field, yeah.
Yeah.
It was track and field. Oh, it was track and field, or was it the?
I don't know this at all.
It was one of these. It was one of those games. It was either track and field or the stadium events. I can't remember which one it was. And looking them up, they looked similar. And I can't remember which one it was. But it's one you basically got to run on spot. And if it's like the long jump, you got to like jump as high as you can, do like a long jump, or if it's like just a running one, you just run as fast as you can. You got to try and beat the person that is on the screen with you. And so it was really cool. You use the pad. Is like basically like what Wii stuff became later on in the day. So you actually did like physical activities playing these games.
Very precise too.
Not at all. We would cheat. We would like used to use our hands and go like pound on
I don't know how
like
people did
that. So like, there's no way I can run that fast for that long. Come on, I gotta cheat.
We went to school with Brianna. She was older, probably in your sister's grades, but like.
Oh, Saratsky?
Yes, she had that. I would go to her place to play that. Among other things I played with.
No.
Himself, yeah.
No, she had to bop it, and I would play that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Twist it.
I love that game.
Pop it. Yeah. That's it's either stadium or events or track and field. I can't remember which one I played.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to see what the picture of that looks like.
I'm picking this one. I mean, it's on my list, but I really want to steal it from CountryBoy because I think he might have it. Sports Champions on PS3. It was a move game.
I didn't have that one, but it's a good one.
You could play bocce. You could play. I think there was archery.
There was Frolf.
I know.
Frisbee golf.
And was there ping pong?
Oh, that was fun. I loved playing frisbee golf in that game.
Was there boxing? Or was it like sword fighting? I can't remember. Was there like sword fighting one?
I think it was. I don't remember sword fighting. There was a second one.
There was a fighting one.
Lou had it, and I always just played the frisbee golf.
Yeah, that was my favorite. Was the frisbee golf.
Yeah.
Frisbee golf and we already said bocce. Those are the two that I remember we played all the time.
Yeah, those are the ones that I prefer playing.
It's a move game. If you guys know the PlayStation Move, it's PS3, and
it's basically Wii Sports but for PlayStation Move.
You can play against a computer. You can play head to head, but great game.
Yeah, no, it really was. I played that for
forgot
hours.
about that game.
It's
all
all
those
those.
volleyball too, wasn't there? Or was that that was a different game?
I don't remember now. There might have been more games on there that I can't remember, but it's been so long ago.
What you call recreational sports. I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna go stick into the Super Nintendo days here, and there was a racing game because racing games count in this.
Yeah.
And I played it at a time when I was a kid. It's called Rock and Roll Racing, and it was a very fun game.
Blizzard, I think.
The layout of it was almost 3D but 2D kind of thing. You know when like
Isometric.
2D plus, if you want to call it that. Isometric, yes.
Yeah.
So you're racing around tracks kind of thing, and the characters were all cool. They each had unique abilities. The soundtrack was great because it was like 8-bit rock, like Black Sabbath's Paranoid in 8-bit rock. In fact, that's the first time I heard that song, and then later on I'm like, hey, that's the song for Rock and Roll Racing.
They ripped off of Rock and Roll Racing.
Yeah. I like the original better.
And the funny announcers, but really the characters were some of the best parts about it. You know, they had some that looked like cyberpunk people from the future, or some that just looked like straight up aliens, or it was a really good, really fun game.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know what I should put on my list? Probably Road Rash or something. That would have been
What sport is that?
It's a racing game.
I mean, it's a race.
You race, with bikes.
Yes.
I didn't put it on there.
I just beat the shit out of people with that game.
So I'm gonna go with a golf game for the PS1, and mostly I mostly only played this on the demo disc that I had, and it was basically just like 9 holes out of a whole gamut of other courses. And I only had a choice of like 2 characters I could play as. I eventually played other versions of this game later on when my cousin got the game, but Hot Shots Golf it's called.
Oh, okay.
This this game actually taught me a bunch of the lingo that I use today for golf. Like, I didn't know a bunker was also a sand trap until I played this game. I didn't know the fringe was like the outer rim of,
You just thought it was
the
a
green.
You thought it was.
I didn't know these words until I played Hot Shots Golf, so it taught me things. Not only was it a fun arcadey like game, it was kind of like Mario Golf. It's like Mario Golf.
It's educational.
I think it might come up before Mario Golf though. I can't remember. But yeah, it's arcade. You got like these big-headed characters that you play as, and it's more fun. It's not like serious like Tiger Woods Golf or something like that. But yeah, they've had many different versions of it since then. And the one I remember the most is just the first 9 holes that I could play on the demo disc that I had. And funny enough, my dad doesn't play video games. He played this game with me, and it's crazy. It's crazy that he played with me. So memories.
Okay, I got one. Also old school. I had to look up the title because I had to remember the year because it's one of those future games. Super Baseball 2020, which was a couple years ago, but oddly enough, I played it in like 1996. It was really weird time travel thing going on there.
What was it on?
It was Super NES. I actually rented it and played it with my cousins because I didn't have an NES.
What was super about
Super
it?
NES. So
Like Learns Ball from Futurama, or what?
it's still regular
It's
baseball,
on a spongy cord.
but all the humans are like super maxed out. You could actually upgrade them if you did like a season, like a league. You could actually like upgrade your characters as you went. But if you upgraded them all the way, they just became robots. So you'd have like robots playing baseball. But like, it was insane because like you get like a super boost that you could leap across, like do a diving catch. But I'm talking like a diving catch like 20 feet. You would dive and go all the way across. Or one time we even had it like you hit a home run and it's going out of the field, and the screen actually said home run, and then you see this guy jump from the ground. He goes out of the screen all the way up and he catches the ball, and they take it away. It's like, fuck that.
Just like 80 feet in the air.
Yeah, it was just like totally over the edge. I mean, it played like a regular baseball game. Like you still had the square, you could throw your ball in, and 3 outs and everything. But just the characters were modded to hell, and it was just so fucking stupid and fun. I love that. But it's weird that we don't have that now. We're 3 years past that, and the baseball players.
It's all about being realistic
Sure,
now.
you know what?
Realism.
They didn't know what they were talking about when it came to the future. They're not flying cars in 2015 either. This is bullshit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
This guy would know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with one that was already mentioned. Mario Golf for the N64.
Oh yeah.
I loved that game. We never owned it, but it was one of those ones that I constantly rented from the video game store all the time. I don't know, the power. Maybe I was younger, so I felt like I was good at it, etc. But the power-ups, the hits, the characters that you could play, it was the first golf game that I played. And I was a kid, right? How could golf be fun at that age, right? But it made it fun. It's really good. I think I'd like to try playing it again, but...
Well, they have the new version of it. You can play it.
It's Superstar Rush.
Yeah, I saw that.
Something like that.
I wouldn't mind getting it, but I just haven't.
The new one, I don't know the whole thing where like they seem to always be running. Like you just take a shot.
Well,
and
there's
keep
I
going.
think there's different modes
That's
you
a
can
mode.
play.
Okay.
Yeah, you can play like a quick mode like that.
That turned me off, but if it's just a mode, then okay, maybe I'm more
Yeah,
interested
I'm
in
pretty
it.
sure you can play just regular golf too.
Nice.
But yeah, I like the Mario Golf. We had that one as well. It's great.
Yeah.
Just go with Bowser. All the power in the world.
I'm gonna stick with the Mario theme here, and probably my favorite sports game when it comes to Mario is Mario Strikers, the soccer one. I love being able to. And I haven't played the new one. And I heard you don't like it as much as by the.
It's
Wii
not
one,
as
I think.
good. Like it's just you get like a basic mode and you can upgrade your characters, but it doesn't have like unlockables and stuff. Like you just got DLC characters, which playing a league or like a season just doesn't have that same oomph if you don't end it with something to unlock.
See, and I love the end. Sorry, the GameCube version, and I love the Wii version. I think they even got even better in the Wii version. Like I loved having like the hammer grow in my net, and then you could like toss a bunch of like tomahawks or hammers at you, so you couldn't shoot. You like totally messed up your fucking kick.
Yeah.
It was awesome, and you could like totally ram people into the walls, and they like electrocute.
I never
Or you
played
could,
that one.
You could throw shells at people. It's soccer, so it's like how fun can soccer be? But they made it fun because it's Mario. All these Mario characters you can play as.
It's football. How fun could football be? No,
Yes.
I agree. It's soccer.
Well, yeah, North American. I'm sorry, it's football, but it's soccer. But yeah, it's Mario Strikers. It's the most fun Mario sports game in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played Sluggers and I haven't played Mario 3.
Sluggers is a gooder.
3 on
It's a
3.
good-
I haven't played that, but.
Sluggers is a good one.
So I'm gonna go with Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey. I'm not sure if it's the original or if it's '98, but it was basically like an arcade type of hockey where it was 3-on-3, and you had like, over the top kind of hits and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember like the goals, like if you were charged up, if your guy was on fire, you could do a slap shot that would hit the goalie and knock him into the net, and it would still count.
Yeah.
But it was great. I remember I'd go to like me and my friend Ryan, we'd go and we'd play it at like in town after we got done school. We'd go and play it, and we'd always pick the Edmonton Oilers, and we'd make it like Donald Brashear, Mike Greer, and George Larocque as the line, because you got 3 guys, right?
Yeah.
It's just all these black guys coming at you, just dominating.
I mean, Donald Brashear was never on the Oilers. Just saying. And I hate the guy, so that's why I point that out.
Pretty sure. Who was? Maybe it was Anson Carter.
Anson Carter.
That was probably what I'm thinking of. Anson Carter. But yeah, we would just do that all the time. It was just funny. And you play the whole season, and you just be dominating guys, like smoking them to death. Like I said, it was awesome.
They really do allow themselves for some pretty fun.
It was the NFL blitz of hockey.
Yeah.
Before NHL hits came, which
Yeah.
is literally the NFL blitz of hockey.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, I think
okay.
this is your last one.
No,
So I'm not.
you start
I started. Sorry. Yeah, this is your second last one.
Okay, I'm going to go a little bit more modern. I'm going to go with the very first UFC game that came out. It came out on the 360, I want to say like 2008.
That makes me think of
And
Fight Night.
That was a very fun game. They did a fantastic job actually for it. And the thing I liked most about it is there wasn't like health bars or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you never knew, like you could be maybe winning a fight.
Who made it? Sorry, was it EA?
EA, yeah.
Okay.
And you could be winning a fight, but somebody could just get you out of nowhere with one of those powerful kicks or something like that, and it was fun. And the ground and pound was just as challenging, it was 2 different types of games, ground and pound submission stuff was one, you're working the joysticks like no tomorrow, and then the striking one. So it was a really fun game. I played that for hours at a time over beers with friends.
I've never played.
I've never played it either. I was gonna say I've never.
I've never played the UFC. I wonder if they borrowed from like the Fight Night games.
They did.
Because I love what was it, the Xbox 360? The first time they had the Fight Night on that system.
Yeah.
The awesome, just the spit physics and like the blood.
It almost like,
and then they're watching a guy like tumble to the ground.
You felt like you could feel the punches.
Yeah, it was very intuitive. It felt cool. I was punching these guys.
I had Fight Night as well, and it's like there was always a level where I couldn't get past that, but I loved it otherwise.
Yeah.
And I had Fight Night was one of the ones I thought about too, but I went with UFC just because it had the ground and pound type of style to it, and I played it a bit more.
Oh, yeah, I wish I'd played on too, because if it's anything like Fight Night, I'd probably like it. But my last one, I'll go with a racing one. We'll go with a racing one. I know Lewis likes this series, the Burnout series. So I'll go Burnout 3 was probably my favorite of the Burnout series. It was probably the first one that really brought the crumple physics into the game on the PS2. And I remember playing the game and I think, holy crap, this is like the most amazing graphics I've ever seen on any console. It was like the windows had reflections, and it was really shining. The crumple physics was like, I hit it right in the corner of the car, and that's how it crumpled. It was so cool. And just being able to like do races, and, like nudge guys off the road and like make them crash, and then do like a little slow-mo of them like wiping out and stuff like that. So cool. I love the fact that it was definitely like a racer, but it was so arcadey at the same time. And they had that mode, I think it was called Crash Mode.
Crash Time?
Crash Time, maybe Crash Mode. I can't remember what it's called, yeah. And basically all you gotta do is try and create the most destruction as possible.
Yeah.
You drive like as fast as you can and try to launch yourself into something that'll create a big domino effect of a whole bunch of destruction. And it's basically like a precursor to like, I'd say like Angry Birds or something. I'd say.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, so I love that game.
I'm probably the one guy who likes Paradise more.
I know, and that would be my second pick for Burnout series, understandably so.
I know its mode was Showtime, that when you would go down a street and you had to get the platinum, you had to go to every street in the city and be like, turn the corner and be like, okay, just roll your car and start crashing this shit. But yeah, it's a great one. So I'm going to end my picks with one that I think was overlooked. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Ooh, solid pick.
That's a great one. Shit.
Yeah, it's not one of the sports you think of when you think like NHL, NBA, boxing,
extreme sports.
Yeah, it's one of the extreme sports.
A ton of Tony
He's going to be beating Dave Muir at Triple X.
I can hear the music right now.
Yeah,
there's always Rune Gilfberg doing that like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the Christ Air, I think it was
Christ
called.
Air, yeah.
I know my cousin would always take like Bob Burnquist, and he would do like the Burn Twist. or whatever.
Yeah, the
Spider-Man.
McTwist, the
You could like,
McTwist.
Oh,
web your,
yeah.
you could web your board back.
But my cousin would know how to do like an infinite combo, like just grinding. Once you hit a jump, does the burn quest, keep grinding around and like just infinite, infinite score.
What was it doing? Not ollie. What was it when you like balance on your board and you're just like going so?
Just grinding. Yeah.
Well, grinding is when you're on an actual rail or something. But like,
Yeah.
there's one where you like
just on the regular ground.
Yeah, you're just trying to get to like another obstacle and you just keep going. And going.
But like, yeah, and like there was a timer in that game, but it wouldn't end so long as you were still like either in the air or grinding on a rail.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just had that going all the time. But yeah, great music.
Yeah.
Easy, simple to pick
Lots
up
of fun
and learn.
levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun as hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you made me change my last choice actually.
Oh.
I was gonna pick a Madden one, but a lot of the Maddens are so similar across the board that there's not one specifically that jumps out. Maybe 06. But I'm gonna go with 1080 snowboarding for the N64. Another kind of similar extreme sport. But man, I played the crap out of that game.
Snowboarding's not so extreme anymore. It's kind of just like in there.
anyways, it was
when it
it was
arrived.
It was.
In the 90s when it was there.
Ricky Winterboard in the
Yeah,
Ricky Winterboard. I was funny enough. I never picked the Canadian though. I was always the American because I liked his look more for some reason. And he's faster. But yeah, the music was fun. The game was fun. There's lots you could do in it. Lots you could explore.
I thought it was a lot harder. I thought to do tricks. Like I was a PlayStation guy. I had cool borders, and it was like Tony Hawk's. It was really easy to do tricks in the air. You really had to think about what you were doing on like
spinning on that 1080 for the joystick.
Yeah, 1080 was a lot harder. I'd say.
I remember playing it. I don't remember it too well.
Yeah, it was another one of those like Mario Golf. I didn't own a lot of those ones, but I rented them all the time. So.
We have time for honorable mentions if we throw them out real quick.
Sure.
I got one. I think I could toss out there one or two.
I want to throw out Mutant League Hockey because I know I mentioned.
I was wondering there wasn't an. I didn't say
I
it.
like it.
I thought you were gonna put it on your.
I mentioned it before on another list. So.
Yeah. Okay. I was
Sonny
off on that one.
Sonny Garcia surfing and NFL head coach, which is kind of like a different kind of thing.
Yeah.
The only other one I'll throw out there is just Wii Sports.
Oh, nice.
Played the crap out of that when the Wii came out.
I'm gonna just throw out a couple. One was Mega Man Soccer.
Oh, yeah.
I'd see that.
But to be honest, it actually kind of sucked because you just would
The
only
memories I
ever
made with
score once you had your power built up.
But
So
I
it was
like
basically
Mega
like
Man.
a back and forth of power built up. But like, you charge up and Cutman would come through and he'd have like this scissors that would go through and cut through.
So it was
And
all
the
Mega Man
hope
characters?
was you just would hit the goalie and not one of the players on the way through. Because if you hit a player, the ball would end there and you wouldn't score. You'd have to get it to the goalie to actually. But I could never score with just the players themselves. So, and then just another honorable mention was Star Wars Pod Racing, which is a fun one on the N64.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's all sorts of kart races I could have tossed up there. Yeah. I thought about that. I was like, that's a little more
For
out
sure.
there, but
For sure. Anyways, that's what we got for sports video games today. Where can we find everybody?
I'm CountryBoy_9 on Twitch, Twitter, PSN, and YouTube, where you can see me opening up this guy right here, Indiana Jones from the Temple of Doom. Very sporty. He's got a machete, so that's the machete sport that he plays.
Okay.
Check that out.
I'm the LewisLightning on Twitch. I don't know what I'm playing right now. Maybe Spider-Man 2. Maybe some more Alan Wake 2. I don't know. Check it out though.
And I'm MussKeg on Twitch, Twitter, PSN. You know it.
I think we all knocked it out of the park.
Touchdown.
Keep on going, sports fans.